Most cameras are built for controlled environments. Studio ceilings, climate-controlled rooms, predictable lighting. This one wasn't. Built to live outside, to endure, to stay online when the environment doesn't cooperate. Because the real world doesn't pause for production. In live production, in broadcast, in enterprise deployments, reliability isn't a feature, it's a baseline. This is the O4 from BirdDog, a full NDI outdoor camera designed for permanent installation. Rugged, network native, infrastructure ready, not a temporary solution, not an afterthought. One cable, power, video, control, clean deployments, simplified integration, built for serious AV systems. Because outdoor coverage shouldn't mean compromise. It should mean expansion. Expansion of your campus, your venue, your production footprint. And in modern AV, the gear is only half the story. The deployment is the other half. This is the Launch Lab.
Today I'm very excited because I'll be doing the first unboxing of the BirdDog O4. And stay tuned because later we're going to put it to test. Let's see what's inside. Oh wow, that's heavy. That's very heavy. That's got some weight, a lot of weight. Ooh. Ta-da! Ooh, wow, shiny. I need to admit I'm impressed. This is very, very heavy. Very sturdy. It looks ready for any conditions. You see here? Well, this is a nice piece of equipment. Very heavy. Looks very, very tough and solid. Let's put it to test. Well, I brought another BirdDog camera, the X1 Ultra, for scale comparison. So as you can see, this one's a monster. Well, outdoor PTZ cameras are usually a compromise. Not this one. Meet the BirdDog O4. Built for permanent outdoor deployment, IP66 weatherproofing, operates from -40 to +60 Celsius, and yes, there's an integrated heater so the camera keeps performing when conditions don't. At the heart of the O4 is a Sony 1/1.8 CMOS sensor with 8.4 million effective pixels for sharp broadcast quality images. You get 4K 60 with a 30x optical zoom, and when you switch to 1080p, you get 60x optical. Perfect for outdoor and sporting events, campuses, venues, anywhere distance matter. The lens opens as wide as f1.35 and supports HDR in Rec 2020 color space for punchy highlights and cleaner shadows. And at night, the O4 brings a 500 meter of infrared vision to keep the scene visible long after the sun is gone. Installation stays clean because all your I/O lives in a weather-sealed undercarriage designed for permanent mounting and reliable cable management. For baseband, you've got native 12G SDI. For motor IP builds, you've got SFP Plus and PoE++ power. And for workflows, this is where it gets fun. The camera streams full NDI and HX3 at the same time, plus RTSP, RTMP, SRT, and optionally Dante AVH support. Control is just as flexible. It can be controlled via NDI or Visca IP, plus BirdDog's RESTful APIs. So whether you're building a facility with a traditional broadcast pipeline, an all-IP facility, or an hybrid of both, BirdDog O4 is built for the wild, ready for the world. We're now ready to connect the camera for the first time before bringing it outside in its natural habitat. Before we go further, all connections are under the camera, protected with weatherproof treatment. So we're gonna have to remove the base plate before connecting anything in it. Because the base plate is sealed with a rubber seal, as a matter of fact, it's not super easy to remove, and that's a good thing. So I did bring a camera tripod plate to be able to screw here, and that gives me leverage to pull out, sorry about this, to pull out the base plate. Yeah, as you can see. And yes, it is protected with a seal that prevents dust and water or snow or anything to get in the camera. I don't know if we can see clearly with the camera, but the connectivity is here. So you have SDI, LAN, you have RS-232 over Cat5, you have a DC input, you have a line in and a line out, you also have an SFP, and you have a 12G SDI. So we're gonna connect it today with a 12G SDI, and later when we'll be outside, we will be connecting it only with NDI PoE++. But before doing this, sorry about this, I'm gonna have to remove those two glands to be able to pass my cables into the camera. As you can see, those are very tight, and they protect anything from coming into the camera. So I have my 12G SDI and my Cat6 cable. I'll be attaching the SDI first. Click, and the PoE. There we go. Yeah, here at our studio, we don't have a PoE++ switch, so we decided to switch to the wall-wart adapter. So we're gonna boot the camera, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of the interface, which is very similar to any Bird UI interface that you've seen, with a couple of key differences which are specific to the O4. Let's wait for it to power cycle again. I remind, it is connected in SDI right now, going to our recorder and our switcher Blackmagic, and I'm also connected in network for the NDI feed. So it is doing its little dance. I need to admit you can't hear it, but it's very, very silent. It's much more silent than any other cameras from BirdDog I had the chance to work with. Let me launch NDI monitor. Still didn't boot yet. As you can see, there are two feeds. One is mentioned HB for high bandwidth. The second one is just cam. I suspect that's the NDI HX. So we're gonna open this one first. Pretty clean feed overall. You're gonna have a quick look at our Midwest studio. This is Vince, and this is Phil. And I'm gonna switch to the high bandwidth now. Wow, it's pretty instant. Let's play with the Bird UI now. So as you can see, it's pretty similar. Oh, let me log again. Default password is BirdDog, as you guys probably know. For those who don't, the default password of a BirdDog camera is BirdDog. We can see here in the Bird UI, pretty typical. The dashboard shows the status of the system. You can reboot, restart from there. On the network side, you can decide the IP address, the transmit preferred method, TCP, UDP, or UDP. You can turn on multicast or turn it off. On the system side, and that's a bit different. I haven't seen those on other cameras before. That really shows that this camera is meant for broadcast, because you can input your own time code in it. On the AV setup side, this is where you can decide your frequency, frame rate, resolution, even the video compression method. You can switch from 1080 to 2160 up to 60 frames per second. And the control is basically where you can have your color matrix and you can control the camera. One of the things that differs from the other cameras here also is the day and night mode. I'm going to switch it to night mode, so you're going to be able to see the actual infrared. As you can see, there's some light in our studio, but I can still turn the infrared on. I'm going to bring it back to day mode. It's back to day mode now. And that's pretty much it. This is also where you'd see your matrix. The matrix is a bit, no, actually it's the same as the other models, white balance. So it is very similar to any other BirdDog cameras in terms of the BirdDog UI. Well, now I think it's time to bring it outside in its natural habitat. Stay tuned. I'm currently outside in Montreal, nearby the Canal Lachine. It's -6 degrees, and the BirdDog O4 is in its natural habitat. We're going to put it to test a little bit later. We're going to drop water on it. But as you can see, it's a really nice piece of equipment. It is sturdy. It has its heated glass panel in front of it, and it's just, it looks like it's made for outside. It looks like a security camera, but it has a broadcast vibe to it. As you can see here, those are the glands, and they're really well protected. No water can get in, and they're sealed with twist caps, which make it completely waterproof and weatherproof. That's a super nice piece of equipment. As you can see, the zoom is phenomenal on it. We're going to have a quick look at the lighthouse right there. And by the way, the camera is leveled, but the lighthouse is a little bit unleveled. As you can see, it has a tendency to go on the right. So as you can see, we can really zoom in. The camera is currently in 1080p, and so we can zoom 60x with it. Originally, we had a works machine that would have basically automatically throw water on the camera, but unfortunately, our plan failed. The machine was working yesterday, but today was not working, possibly because of the cold. So we're simply gonna put water on the camera while filming here with our handheld camera, but also filming the NDI feed. So as you can see, we protected our stand, but we're not protecting our camera. So let's have a quick look at this. I feel completely comfortable dropping water on our camera here. Something I would never do, and I would never tell anyone to do. Now I'm doing it today. You see, that's what you do when you have professional products like this one. I can confidently throw a full 2-liter bottle of water on it and laugh at it. And apparently from the NDI feed, we can't even see that there was water dripping on it, which is simply awesome. Because we're in Canada and we're used to cold Canada weather, I'm gonna throw a snowball at it. Well, not only there's a heater in the camera that would basically melt the snow on it, but as you can see, the hydrophobic coating on the lens case is put to work right there. You see, not even a drip of water. And as you can see, the the heater is actually working because the snow is melting on it. Well, that's the O4, my friend.